So in Buckingham, we're being cited for a very big, about 55,000 horsepower compressor station as part of the Atlantic Coast Pipeline. And it's the largest one that we know of. They needed a special use permit to be able to locate it in our agricultural zoned neighborhood, which is actually a very densely populated neighborhood. A lot of plantation descendants, freedmen, up to 1/3, and 85% African American. So there's quite a dense population around where they want to locate the compressor station, and they did need a special use permit, and so they had to go through the zoning process. 90%, almost 90% of the people that spoke in those hearings spoke against it, and yet our Board of Supervisors passed and are allowing them to build the compressor station there. They own the land. The land is the former site of a large plantation in the area, Variety Shades, and a lot of the freedmen that I referred to in my previous statement are actually the descendants of the very people who worked the plantation, and the people who own that property, who made off very well with the $2.5 million they sold the property for, which is unheard of in Buckingham, are also descendants of plantation owners. So when you hear that story, it's kind of riveting. At least it is to me. And we've jumped through all the hoops of the regulatory process with the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, the draft environmental impact statement, the final impact statement. Now we're in the midst of the water hearings. We did the initial ones. We will be soon going before the Water Board. They got over 10,000 comments. Many of them were from Buckingham. And in the first part of December, we will be going back to the Water Board before they make their final decision. Buckingham has been hit very hard with the Atlantic Coast Pipeline because of the compressor station. It's deadly. It's absolutely deadly for anyone who lives near it, and that can be up to many miles away, 10 miles. It depends on the weather conditions. Air tends to stay below ground in the winter, so it's much more deadly then, actually, particularly when they do blowdowns, which is when people really get sick. But 365 days a year, year after year after year, 24/7, builds up a lot of deadly toxins in your system. So it's not just blowdowns that are going to make us sick. Living near this every day of our lives, against our will, having to breathe this air is deadly. It's not right. And people's lives are being sacrificed to put this compressor station, to build this pipeline. It's not been proven that it's needed. It's wrong. It's wrong. In the simplest terms, it's wrong. It's point of view, it's wrong from a moral point of view. It's wrong. Yeah.